Hello everyone, this is Take from bigheadtaco.com, and I'm coming to you here from my home studio to announce my upcoming trip to Hong Kong. Now, I've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks on my Instagram, Twitter, and a couple of my latest videos, but this is the official announcement of my trip, what I'm doing there, what I'm going to do there, what equipment I'm bringing, and why I'm bringing it. And because I don't have a script, I might not necessarily explain it in that order. But I'll start off with the Leica MA in my hand. So I am going to be shooting a lot of film, or anyways, more than normal for myself. And the reason is because I was invited by Monogram Asia. Now they are a platform. If you go to their website, I'll put it down in the description. Their theme is coffee, cameras, and travel. And so those of you who follow me on all my different feeds know I'm somehow oddly associated, Revolver Coffee, with different coffee companies, even though I don't drink coffee, but I like the atmosphere of coffee shops, and as well as travel and cameras. And so they invited me. They have an upcoming event in Hong Kong to interview a world-renowned photographer, a landscape photographer by the name of Michael Kenna. Now he shoots film. I think it's mostly Hasselblad that he shoots with, and he also spent a decade, at least a decade, learning the art of the darkroom. And so he's one of the rare photographers today that can still make a living being a landscape photographer who will shoot all his pictures as well as process all of them in the darkroom. And so I won't talk about him too much now because I'll be interviewing him in Hong Kong. But they invited me to go there, and there are different partners for the event. And so those various partners, I will also be able to meet many of them and have interviews and create YouTube videos. And so, again, I'll send a link to the upcoming event, or you can just go to my blog. And on the poster, you'll see all the different sponsors of the event. And so, one or two of them will look familiar, and the rest of them will be new. So I'm doing my best to arrange to have some pretty cool videos in Hong Kong. And so in homage to Michael Kenna, I thought it would be nice to go back to my roots, which is shooting film. And when I was at Kodak and I was doing weddings and sports, I pretty much shot only film. And so it feels good to go back to film. I actually tested a couple of cameras. The MA is my main camera, and I shot a couple of rolls. I posted a couple of shots already on Twitter as well as on Instagram, and looks pretty good. I'm happy with the results. Beautiful camera, the MA and the 35 Summilux. I've done a review video on that already on my YouTube account as well. And so I'm taking this as my primary, I shouldn't say primary camera because I'm bringing other cameras, but in terms of my main kind of artistic type pictures, I'll be using the MA, and I'll be shooting with a brick. Well, in the old days, a brick was 20 rolls, but now it seems like 10 rolls is a brick. So a brick of the Acros 100, as well as shooting with the Pro 400H. So I'll have 20 rolls, 36. So that's quite a few pictures I'll be able to get. I have another couple of bricks of different films. I might take more, I don't know. I was planning to bring a backup point and shoot, but then decided not to, and I'm gonna focus entirely on shooting with the MA. And that is because Canon Canada has sent me the Canon G7X Mark II. Now, I'm going to use this primarily as a vlogging camera. I'm going to do my very best to vlog. I don't want to commit to daily, but I'm going to try my best to vlog on a daily basis, but they might not be packaged so that I post daily because I'm having issues with being able to have consistent internet access while I'm in Hong Kong. So G7X Mark II, and people like this camera because of this selfie screen and they can vlog, but I'm gonna put a little kind of a tripod mount or something on the bottom to give it a little bit more stability. I don't like holding a camera like this, but because I'm taking this, I'm going to actually leave my Ricoh GR at home. Sad face. I really want to bring it, but I want to keep this trip as streamlined as possible. And so bringing this, although it does not weigh much, every little bit makes a difference. And I just don't want to afford the space or the weight or just the stress of having another camera that I feel that I have to shoot with. So I'm actually leaving this guy home. And of course, the creme de la creme of this trip is the Fujifilm X-T2 with the booster grip. The production copy was supposed to be in this week and I was going to take it with me, but unfortunately I'm leaving tomorrow and the production copy did not come in on time. So I'm taking the pre-production and I will be getting the production firmware update. And because this is supposed to be, from what I was told, the actual production, like this is the same as what the production copy should be in terms of all the parts and the innards that are inside, I should be getting exact performance. And I'll be running tests with this up against the Panasonic GH4, which will be my collaborator, Ryan from Arcade Original. He is coming with me on this trip and he's going to be my videographer for many of the events, but he's bringing his GH4. And so we're actually going to do 4K video test GH4 versus the XT2 in Hong Kong. So I think that'll be a pretty fun test to do. But as well, I'm taking the 10-24. I think this has optical image stabilization, but as well for shooting video, I think this will be probably the best camera to use because I will be doing some projects without Ryan. And so I did buy as well, I'm actually using it now on the X-Pro2, which I'm shooting this video with, and the 18-55, and I'm using the Rode VideoMicro shotgun microphone with the windbreaker dead cat on top. So that I'm taking with me to Hong Kong to shoot my own videos. And I'm bringing the, I think I have it here somewhere, here we go. So I'm bringing the XF35 with me as well. So I'm gonna have the 10-24 XF35. So this is basically my Fujifilm kit, and the EF-X20 flash, I'm bringing that with me as well. And finally, in terms of main equipment, I am taking, I always have my iPhone. For my Instagram, if those of you who don't follow me on Instagram, check it out. I use mostly my iPhone on Instagram basically because I want to let people know that you don't need fancy cameras to be able to take good pictures. You need to have a good eye. You need to have a certain level of skill and understanding of light and composition. And then, you know, I use my iPhone. So I have access to all these fantastic cameras, but on Instagram, I typically would choose to use my iPhone. And I always get asked, you know, what's the best camera? What's the best camera? And I'm in a position where I can say, well, I've used some of the best cameras out there, but I still feel that the equipment is not as important as your eye and your skill level. And so, and I also just enjoy shooting it because in terms of speed of shooting, it's very few cameras can shoot as fast as the iPhone for me in terms of quickly taking it out wherever I am and be able to shoot right away. So I am using the Bitly Snap Pro case, or Bitly Snap exclamation mark Pro case. And it has a mechanical shutter button here. So, you know, as soon as you turn the camera on like this, you swipe up and you can shoot right away like that. And what it's doing is there's a mechanical connection that's pressing my volume down button. So you can actually start shooting. You do need to use your thumb to sort of point on your focus point, but it's a very quick way of shooting. And I'm bringing with me their new ultra wide lens, the EF-18 lens. And it's very well corrected. I've posted quite a few pictures already on my Instagram account and as well as on Twitter. Very well corrected. It still flares quite easily, but you know, you could tell by how kind of bulbous this lens is. They do give you a lens hood, a nice metal lens hood, and a nice case, nice metal cap. I wish they had a plastic version. I'm always afraid this will come off, much like the lens cap on the X70 and the X100 on the Fujifilms. But very well built, sort of darkens in the extreme corners, but you just gotta crop in a bit. And when you're shooting video, it crops in so much that you don't even see the very strong. The vignetting starts quick and then just disappears very quickly. But I'll be using this to do a lot of building shots, and so I'm looking forward to taking this with me to Hong Kong. So look out for a video as well as tests with this lens, but as I mentioned, I've already posted pictures on my Instagram and I am quite impressed. Now, in terms of accessories, I already mentioned I bought the Rode VideoMicro with me to shoot video interviews mostly when I'm by myself, but as well I was considering bringing, I have my little mini, the Coleman tripod, but maximum stands about maybe 3 feet. And when I'm by myself or when I'm doing video tests or if I want to do some night shots, I thought I really needed a decent tripod. So I was shopping around for the lightest and most cost-effective tripod I can find. And the newer style now, they have these reversible tripods, meaning the legs go completely backwards. So total length is about 13 inches, so that's very tiny. And it does have a 5-section leg. It has a double section center column, but this is by Optex, and it's part of the Trident series. It's the TI5396 something or whatever it's called. I'll write it down here. But you can see the legs reverse. There's a 2 position for the legs, but let's just put it in the main position like this. And then you have the 5 columns, the 5 extensions down here, and then you can see here this goes up twice like that. So fully standing, it's, I think it says 54 inches. So for me, it's, by the time everything is fully extended, it is at eye level for me. So that's perfect for shooting. I might feature this tripod in a video or just kind of an end at the end of the video, but even has a little thing here so you can add extra weight for stability. Comes with a case, comes with a strap. So this is a pretty good accessory. I think you can buy these in the US for about $100 US. In Canada, it's about $120 to $140. So it's a really good investment, I think, for those that travel and maybe in general decide not to bring a tripod because of the weight and the size. It is a little bit cumbersome for me if you're kind of trying to keep as light as possible, but because I have to do interviews and shoot YouTube videos, this is unfortunately an accessory that I have to bring with me. So the Optex Trident series tripod. So that's pretty much it in terms of all my equipment that I'm bringing. I'm bringing, you know, small little accessories here and there, but those are the main equipment that I wanted to highlight and what I'm bringing for the trip and sort of explain why I'm bringing each tool for this trip. But in terms of what I'm doing there, again, as I mentioned, I am collaborating with Arcade Original as well as Monogram Asia to do a set number of videos for them. So those videos will be coming up probably, those will be properly produced, and we'll probably have to do it once we get back to Canada. So those won't be out for probably another month or so, but I have my own projects. So my trip last year to Hong Kong, I made many new friends, and so I'll be visiting them again. I've been talking to Mint Camera, I've been talking to Annie Barton 1972, Victor and Carmen, and I'm gonna visit some of my old friends like David Chan and Billy, the famous mall there with all the cameras, Champagne Court. So I'll be visiting Champagne Court and be visiting the folks over at Shogun Cameras and different camera shops. And I have a whole new lineup of different stores I'll be visiting as well. So I'm gonna keep that as a surprise. And another thing I did was there were some unexpected costs that came up with this trip, and I trying to find creative ways of raising money. So for those of you interested, you can go to my blog, and I explain there in a post of my crowdfunding project using Instagram. And within that private account, if you make a donation, I will produce extra content. There was contests. I have different brands that have donated products as prizes. So one of them being YB Putro, who makes these fantastic leather straps. So he's in there, as well as Nick from Two Stops Apparel. He's, can you see that? He's donated a couple of shirts, and he's given me some shirts as well to wear. So check out Two Stops Apparel. If you use a discount code, I'll put it down below somewhere, maybe. I forgot what the code is. You can get 15% off of anything in the store. But if you're in my private group, you get extra discounts as well as a chance to win these shirts. And so for those of you interested, I appreciate whatever you can help with. I've already have a few donors, and again, those of you who have donated, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. And as well, I have Ryan, as I mentioned, from Arcade Original. Thank you, Ryan, for coming on this trip. He's really gonna bump up the quality of my videos while I'm in Hong Kong, so that we can make it sort of an epic trip, I guess, and call it epic. But I'm gonna have a good time there. Unfortunately, Camera Girl will not be able to make this trip. She has to work, and so this is a 100% work trip. But I'll have 2 weeks. Usually, when I go on vacation with Camera Girl, she's very patient. She'll allow me to have certain times to shoot videos and take pictures. And as I mentioned, I have these little blips of time where Camera Girl wants to go into a store and she says you have 30 minutes to go out and shoot. And I would run out and shoot frantically and come back. This time I'll have the freedom to really shoot as much as I want and focus really on creating content as well as taking pictures and reviewing. So hopefully I'll be able to squeeze more videos and more pictures on this trip, considering that all I have to do is really focus on work. And so the last Hong Kong trip, I think total we were able to produce about 21 or 22 videos. And then last year as well, I had my producer as well as John Lehman, who came with me out of their own pocket. David, thank you David, thank you John for coming. This time, fortunately, John is in Rio shooting the Olympics, and David is going back and forth to New York working on a different project. But I do thank you guys for your previous help last year, and now I have a new collaborator to help me on this project. Now, if you haven't already seen the videos, Arcade Original, Ryan, he's already helped me on 2 videos I've already shot, which is the one on Layla Likes, the food photographer, as well as George Jonakos from Revolver Coffee. Those 2 videos is what Ryan worked on for me. So he'll be coming with me and shooting a lot of video with me and for me. So I look forward to the trip. So thank you so much for watching. I think that's pretty much all I want to talk about. I'm off tomorrow. I have to produce this video and then off tomorrow. And I might post a quick little video from the airport, but that might be just for my private account. So, or maybe not, we'll see. But thank you so much for watching. The next time you see me, it will either be at the airport or in Hong Kong. So thank you so much and happy shooting.